I'm on an adventure. I'm going from the Atlantic to the Pacific. The hard way, above the Arctic Circle. From here, we're going that way. So far, I've already travelled through the fabled Northwest Passage. I am bloody freezing. And seen the far-flung world very few get to see. I've met some extraordinarily impressive people who I'll remember forever. But now I'm on the final leg of my mammoth 10,000-mile journey across Canada. I'm going to show you scenery that's unbelievably grand. How nice is that? And introduce you to hillbillies and the hard men who call this remote wilderness home. I can't imagine my mother running and shooting a bear. And I'll fulfill an ambition I've had for years. Oh, wow! The end is in sight, but the adventure isn't over yet, so come with me on my journey to the edge of the world. My ocean-to-ocean journey began on the Atlantic coast in Nova Scotia before heading north to the Arctic and the Northwest Passage. I'm now heading south to my final destination, Vancouver Island on the Pacific coast. I've still got 2,500 miles to go from my current position, the White Pass Mountains in the Yukon. I'm glad you've come this far, but you ain't seen nothing yet. This is scenery on an epic scale. A vast hideaway wilderness for the refuseniks of society, for cowboys, Indians, loggers and hunters, for the 21st century pioneers who fled here to the edge of the world. Come with us. Come one. Come all. By the way, this is called Windy Arm Lake. I wonder where they get the name, eh? The outstanding thing about the Yukon is that there's hardly anybody here. I feel like I'm letting you in a secret world, and it's breathtakingly beautiful. Look at these colours, my God, it's an explosion. What a stunning place. The plants look as if they're rejoicing, but they're actually dying. This is the last fling of autumn. And you're looking at the picture and you're seeing this place that you wouldn't mind coming to at all. In a couple of weeks it'll be different though, covered in snow. Get the local paper and you'll find it's full of adverts of brass monkeys looking for welders. It's below freezing for 9 months of the year here. And with temperatures regularly down to -20, you start to realise why the place is so empty. Just like the Arctic, it takes a hardy soul to cope with such conditions, and I'm keen to find out why they're here and what keeps them here. For some of them, it's still the ancient dream of gold. I'm on my way to meet Sean, a mineral prospector at his forest camp with a promise he's going to show me how to stake my own claim for a chunk of the Yukon's wealth. Yeah, you must be Sean.
Yeah.
I'd like to stake a claim, or claim a stake.
That's what we hear.
Because I'd like to be ridiculously wealthy. And I'd like you to do it very quickly. Sean and his pals study all the available geological data to predict where there might be lucrative mineral deposits.
It's the only game that you can go out in the bush poor and broke and come back a millionaire, potentially.
Yeah. It's all gold you guys are interested in. You're not interested in copper and zinc.
Yeah, no, we do
We're
everything.
interested in everything, but you know, everybody really likes gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have a big pile of gold than a big pile of...
It's an extraordinarily fascinating ritual. It means anyone can claim a piece of the Yukon for mining if they're prepared to do what Sean does. Head for the hills, stake out your claim, and sell on its promise of treasure to the highest bidder. Easy peasy.
Really, my job is
if you were the guy buying the claim, I'm selling you hope. You hope that I have a deposit. And that's the best chance I give you, you know? It's
All
just
right.
hope. But it all starts with putting a post in the bush.
I didn't know you actually still to this day put a stake in the ground to establish a claim.
Yeah.
God, I love that.
And you got to give it a claim, and you got to give the claim a name.
You do?
So we're calling this claim block the Billy claim.
Yay! Yeah. I thought they mostly had women's names.
That could be a big mistake.
Tomorrow we're going in search of gold. I've just had the worst imaginable night. Those buggers sat up at the campfire last night talking about bears till away into the night. I was convinced there was a bear here. I never slept a bloody wink. It's a nightmare. In case a 300-pound grizzly comes up, I've got this aerosol. Somebody was snoring last night. Somebody not a million miles from where we stand at this very second. I thought it was a bloody bear. I had my finger through the loop like this. And in my sleeping bag here. Back down. I can never forget there are bears out there that think I'm a tasty dinner, so I was glad to see that Sean had some alternative bear repellents. Oh, that's good.
They're fun. Everybody loves shooting off bear bangers.
Oh, yes!
To work then. To stake a claim, I'll need a stake.
So this is the same act as 100 years ago. Whoa. And there's our post. We're ready to rock and roll.
In prospecting, it's the norm to fail. So it's a particular kind of guy that keeps at it, driven by the dream of finding gold.
It's a really dying breed, right? You have a really hard time making a living on it. And the prospector, he puts his whole, basically, paycheck on the line that, like, if you don't find nothing, you're eating beans all winter, basically.
Yes.
And this is where the treasure is buried. I have the map out here. Don't lose it out the window. And we're off. Certainly are. With the modern day iron horse. It's like flying on a magic carpet, eh? The biggest Easter egg hunt going. And there's the mountain right on our nose. See that mountain? Yes. I'm saying that mountain has gold in it.
I could feel myself getting quite carried away with the idea of my claim being full of gold.
Don't grow in love with your claim. Because that's what some of the old guys used to do historically. They used to grow in love with their claim and go, it has to be here and has to be here, and it was never there. So, because they didn't have the data. Yeah, right here. That's a good spot.
Called mounding the post. I have to watch the rock in case there's something in it.
You never know.
You guys think differently.
I thought I seen some copper. No, this is where history comes into effect. Call this Billy number 1. Post number 1 of the Billy number 1 claim. And you sign the dotted line. History has been made.
Hey, how about that?
And you know what? Nobody could move this post for the rest of its life for 100 years.
I'm a very proud person today. Still as poor as I always was. I'm not a zillionaire yet. Anything you want to know about gold mining, just ask me. I know loads of stuff. I've had at least 2 days' experience.
Well, come on, Billy. I've got another prospect.
These guys who laugh out loud and often have touched me with their irrepressible hope and optimism.
More gold on the other side of them hills.
I can see now it's a drug that seduced generations of prospectors to come to the Yukon. To whom it may concern, anybody, anywhere in the world, this is the Billy Claim. Keep clear, you hear?
Doors are closed, seatbelts are on, everybody's happy and ready to go.
I'm in a float plane, continuing my journey south to Ice Lakes.
Was this where we're going?
Yeah.
I just couldn't see the airport.
Today I'm going moose hunting with a pair of hunting companions called Romeo and Connolly, who sound like they should be lovers in a Bob Dylan song.
That's Romeo right there.
It's funny, Romeo isn't such an outdoorsy name, is it? I love his stance. I'm scared of him already.
Hello.
Hello.
How do you do?
I'm Connolly.
Nice to meet you, Connolly.
Nice to meet you.
Romeo and Connolly come out here once a year to bag themselves a moose for their freezers. Oh, you brought your moose.
Moose decoy. When you call one, you want him to come in really, really close. And so it gives him something to look at.
This is rutting season, and they're going to try and lure a bull moose to us with a sexy cow decoy.
This list is spectacularly beautiful. God, I was just telling you that and I caught the moose. Fancied it myself. So you set up?
If you like, we were going to spray a little bit of this. It's a little bit of scent. Do you want to spray it?
Where'll I put it? On this, the place where it should go?
Just on the rear.
On the rear. Give it plenty. Oh, dear Jesus.
Hopefully you didn't get any on yourself.
No, I hope I didn't. You're on, darling.
I'm trying hard not to be a city boy, but I'm feeling really sorry for the moose that's going to get it.
Something weird of it using a sexy attraction for something you're going to shoot. Yoo-hoo. Moose. Poor big moose. Ooh, duh. Over the hill. Boom. It doesn't seem right somehow.
I think sometimes you sit for days and nothing happened. Other days it's just fast and furious.
Yeah.
Romeo is up the hill and Connolly is down below in a hide with a bow and arrow.
I think his call isn't sexy enough. It's lovely, isn't it? It's great to be with the real thing. And the more time you spend with these guys, the more you kind of appreciate what they do.
It's really very peaceful. It's a peaceful way to hunt, especially when there's no wind and it's very, very still.
Yeah.
You know, then it's really nice. When it's very still.
Romeo's moose calls are falling on deaf ears, so Connolly gives it a go.
I think you did a very good job of that.
They get better as the week progresses.
Yeah.
They will stay out here as long as it takes to get a moose. And it could take them 2 weeks. Ah, well, doesn't look like we're going to get a moose today. And far from being disappointed, I'm secretly delighted.
Being around when a moose was killed would have been kind of painful to me. But just being here is brilliant. I've discovered I've become very open to what other people do. Less judgmental. City boy.
That's what we do for a holiday.
No laying on the beach in the sun.
It's back in the float plane and over the border into my final province, British Columbia. And what a hell of a size this place is.
Oh, wow.
From the air, you realise the vast scale of the thing. It's extraordinary, and there's nobody down there. But here and there are echoes of the gold rush years of the 19th century when people flocked here in droves, like my next stop, Telegraph Creek.
Hello, Telegraph Creek, British Columbia.
Built in the boom years, Telegraph Creek is now a ghost town, an eerie, deserted relic of the wild, wild west.
It's a funny wee town. You'd fully expect to meet John Wayne walking the other way. Apparently this place was like Las Vegas at one point. Thousands of people coming through, going to the 3 different gold rushes. Panned out in about 6 years, and it's been a kind of ghost town ever since. There's a nice wee hut there. Look at that. I wonder who lived in there. Seventh-day Adventists came here in the 80s, apparently, hoping to convert all the Indian guys. It's still reasonably okay to say Indian, apparently. There's another poor wee house. Wee toilets out back. All the hillbilly guys who had outhouses, and they would say it was 10 yards too far in winter and 10 yards too close in the summer. So that's pretty much the end of Telegraph Creek. Ghost town with no ghosts.
50 miles further downriver from Telegraph Creek, the dirt track finally runs out. This is truly the back and beyond, and this is where I'm meeting someone who I've really been looking forward to spending some time with.
Hi.
I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Nice to meet you.
How lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
This is Nancy.
What a pleasure. I've been waiting for this for ages. They told me about you weeks and weeks ago.
What did they tell you?
Said you were really weird.
Yeah, I was going to say. Don't believe them.
Well, they just keep saying, wait till you meet Nancy, wait till you meet Nancy. She does this, she does that, she's got a gun, she does this.
Here, you have to put
She
your
builds
life jacket.
bridges, she traps grizzly bears, wrestles them to the ground.
There you are.
She'll scare the life out of you.
She's taken me downriver to her remote guest ranch where I'm going to be staying. And get this, Nancy is 75.
Were you born here, Nancy?
No. I was born in Alberta on a cattle ranch.
Oh, right.
But I've been here for 52 years.
Oh, you'll know your way around.
People like Nancy have hidden themselves all over this part of Canada. People who live completely self-sufficient lives with just a sharp axe and bears for company.
Well, a woman was made of steel.
Nancy looks after her 480-acre ranch all on her own.
Whoa! What a beautiful place.
It is nice, isn't it? A little run down, though, Billy.
Smashing here at Nancy's place. That driveway's 4 miles long. My arse is making buttons. But this is great. What a gas. She says it's run down, but I think that's the most attractive feature about it. Gosh, she just showed me my room. Do you want to see it? Please note, you must have a good sleep. If you are cold, it is miserable. I advise warm nightwear and warm socks to be worn to bed. That's my kind of hotel.
She's a 5'2" bantam with the strength of a giant. Watching her chop logs for winter, I could see this is a hard life.
My God. Does it ever dawn on you that it might be too hard, this?
Uh-uh.
I love that.
I'm not a quitter.
No, I don't think so.
No, I love it. You know.
Oh, it shows.
I often get asked that question, don't you get lonely? And I honestly don't.
There are just 20 days left before the first winter snows come, when life for Nancy gets even tougher.
We used to have 60, 70 head of horses, and in the wintertime, the wolves were terrible. Well, I remember one night we had a colt and 2 mares, and they were fighting off 2 wolves. And I'd forgotten my rifle. It was in the bedroom. So one of the kids.
My rifle.
Yeah, well, it was just in the bedroom.
Like I forgot
one of the
my
kids
handbag.
ran and grabbed my rifle, and another one grabbed my shells, and I shot in the air, and the wolves took off. Then I had to get the kids up.
Did it ever cross your mind that you might hurt yourself and need help?
No.
You just don't let it cross your mind. Nancy made the most superb dinner last night. It was moose stew with beans and cabbage salad and a cakey thing at the end. It was just the best food I've had. And she's the most impressive woman I think I've ever met.
This morning, Nancy is taking me for a walk around her land. And here, it's never long before thoughts turn to bears.
We used to have a lot of bears. It was nothing to see a dozen on the hillside in the field in a day. One time I saw a bear coming down through the yard there. I knew the kids were all playing outside. I ran and got my rifle and I shot the bear just as it was crossing the creek there. So I was pretty swift. Kind of hard on the tractor.
I can't imagine my mother running and shooting a bear.
But the attitude of the bears is so different now. The first time I noticed this was a few years ago when I was gutting a moose.
You say these things so casually.
Well, it's true.
I was gutting a moose. Of course you were.
We reach the high point on the ranch and I can see why Nancy will never leave this place, no matter how hard a life she has.
Oh my goodness me.
You see a long ways, eh?
How lovely is that?
This is Nancy's world. Don't laugh. She doesn't need or want to be anywhere else. It's such a joy to share someone's contentment. I feel very blessed.
What a wonderful place.
I agree. You just don't want to fall over the edge there.
No, I'll try not to.
That was brilliant. That's one of the nicest days I've spent in many, many years with a delightful person. You know that enthusiasm you get from other people's enthusiasm? You can, like a magnet, you can feel theirs and it does you good. And I really hope that this is seen by people of 75. To see her chopping wood and her attitude to life and having the gun on her shoulder ready to defend herself. What a wonderful person. Someday we'll meet again.
Yeah, I hope so.
That was a life-changing experience. I don't know quite how it's going to change my life, but I know it has.
Heading south again now, 600 miles to an Indian settlement called New Ayanch, home of the Nisga'a tribe.
Oh, look at the totem poles. I love totem poles.
I've been invited to take part in a sweat lodge. It's a traditional rite and I've heard it's very challenging.
And I'm told it's a rough ride. I'm going to be boiled, you know, in steam today. I hope my body's up to it. I hope my emotions, because I'm a basket case emotionally anyway. Billy Connolly.
Keith Tate.
How nice to meet you, Keith.
A sweat lodge is a kind of incredibly hot steam bath that'll push me to the limits of endurance. Keith and the guys have been busy heating up the rocks all day.
That big one's gonna really get us going, yeah.
Can we go right out of there?
You'll be all right. You're ready for it.
It's a deeply spiritual ritual and a huge honour to take part in.
Is there an order to go in?
Yeah. Guys are first.
Oh, really?
It's absolutely pitch black in here, apart from the glow from the red-hot lava rocks. The only reason you can see anything is because we have a special camera.
Relax, take your time with your breathing. Is everybody ready?
As the steam comes off the rocks, it's like being struck by lightning. I wasn't sure if my body could stand the heat. After 30 minutes, we're allowed a rest.
Where were you quick?
Wow, that's amazing. That's something completely new in my life.
You just got to get past that first initial pain.
Yes.
Of the initial shock of the heat. And then once you get past there, oh, the rest is just joy.
I just wanted to say that's enough. Just no more. That's lovely.
There are 4 more sessions and each one gets hotter and more intense.
Did you guys fix that back for him?
Half a rock coming in.
Oh, that was a big one. The whole bucket went on that time. You've no idea how much your body is desperate to inhale. Like, it's just your natural, but you know it's going to roast you if you do. But everything in your being is telling you, inhale a big gulp. And it doesn't work.
There were prayers and chanting, and people talked openly about all sorts of hurtful emotional and physical experiences they'd had. I was quite taken away with the level of goodness and level-headed support they showed one another.
Oh, good luck to my God.
So hot.
Take your time. Just take your time.
Ah! Oh my God! Ah! Hey.
In the end, the only way to get rid of the pain is to think it away.
Some of the most moving things I ever did in my life. It's quite difficult to talk.
That
was lovely. Suddenly I feel so much at home. It's difficult to explain. Oh my. Oh my. I'm closed off to anything remotely supernatural, or anything that mediums do, or ghost hunters and all that. I think it's all cobblers. But this was an outpouring of honesty, and the strength of it. There's a beauty in it that has come to live with me, and I hope it sticks around, because I rather like it.
The end is in sight now, and my next stop is 800 miles south on the Mitchell River. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and today I'm looking for bears.
The well-dressed bear spotter tends to wear the Jungle Jim style hat. The bears won't know what's hit them when I show up dressed like this.
Everywhere I've been, the threat of a bear encounter has been hanging over me. Well, today's the day I volunteered to meet my nemesis. I feel quite safe with Gary here, who's been around bears for the last 20 years and can read their moods.
Billy, have a look down. There's an eagle.
Oh, I see him, yeah. I never saw so many eagles in my life. What an incredible place.
The river is teeming with migrating salmon too, and that means there'll be hungry bears as well. Gary is expert at finding clues where they'll be.
Lots of times here, Billy, all you're going to see is a little piece of brush laying the wrong way, or a set of ears sticking up, or just a face sticking out.
I've always feared bears that think I'm on their menu, but in Gary's company, I'm really hoping we see one.
There's a whirlpool here. We gotta cut across on the corner here. I think we'll be able to find one in there.
Oh, there's one.
Straight ahead. I see him. Just film. Keep filming. Keep filming. Don't stop. Shit. That was a beautiful bear.
Wasn't he beautiful?
20 feet.
I've never been so close to a bear before. I'm quite happy with the ears, but Gary thinks if we wait quietly, the bear might come back.
Billy.
Oh, wow. Oh, he's beautiful. There's something very special about seeing a big hairy-arsed bear in its own territory like this, going about its business. Wasn't that wonderful? That'll live with me forever. It was a privilege to be close to a beautiful wild creature. Thank you very much. With just days left before my journey ends, I'm as happy as a clam, and I think I'm turning native. In just 2 days' time, I'll reach the Pacific. I'll have travelled from the Atlantic through the Northwest Passage, an incredible journey, and not done yet. Because before that, I'm off to the woods to chop a tree down. I've become such a roughy-tufty since I started this tour. What the hell's become of me? I was such a nice tree-hugging hippie when I left home. My wife won't recognise me. I look like Grizzly Adams. But that's what the great hairy-arsed outdoors will do for you. There's a great shortage of tofu in these parts.
We're all wearing some sort of high vis and hard hats, right, Cecil? Where's that hard hat? Yeah.
I'm in a place called Horsefly to meet Leonard, Cecil and the crew. Loggers who are going to show me how to do something I've always wanted to do but I've never done before.
Isn't it scary how you dress somebody up with the right clothes and they actually look the part? Hey, you're starting to look like a logger.
We'll see when he starts cutting the tree.
The trees we will be falling are infested with the destructive pine beetle, and cutting them down will stop the beetle spreading. So we'll get the pleasure without the guilt.
And we're looking after the environment at the same time. Just
Oh yeah, and we're looking after the environment at the same time. We hug trees too. In the evening.
Only if we have to get away from the bear.
Despite the easy laughter, this is a dangerous business. We've got first aid kits here in case anybody should need it. Chainsaw cuts, believe it or not, usually they don't hurt. Like this right here, I've had shaving cuts that felt worse than that. Yeah, that one there was from a chainsaw kickback.
Really?
Yeah, that was back before they had anti-kickback mechanisms on the chainsaws.
Let's rock and roll.
Injuries like that are a price I'm unwilling to pay.
Pick it up like this.
I make a mental note to be very careful.
Oh, shit. Forcefully. A little more force. Oh, okay, maybe put it on the ground then.
I'll try it once more.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Cut away to your heart's content.
I wanted to be good at this, and so it meant a lot to get their praise.
You could be a hell of a carpenter. That is as level can be.
That's good. Good. You're an easy learner.
They show me how they fall the big trees.
I figure it's about 800 years old. And
Is that as big as they get, these firs?
oh no, they get bigger than this.
Bigger. Okay, we're ready to fall this puppy.
Oh, makalak-lak.
Like that's what you're looking for is a nice clean undercut. I'd say you're about ready for a back cut there, Len.
Yeah, it's going to go fast, you guys, so I want you guys up the hill.
Did you want to hug it before it went down, Dylan?
Excuse me. I'll just let a moment to myself.
Don't get flat in
the
here.
hill out the way.
There goes.
Oh, there it goes. My
There
goodness.
goes. And out of there, Lenny. Forget the chainsaw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we didn't even hit anybody else over there.
Goodness me. Exactly where he wanted it to go. Well, the power of that's extraordinary, isn't it?
Time for me to have a go with a big one.
Okay.
Oh, what?
Was that a bit of a rush?
Oh, boy. Thanks, Lenny.
Good cut.
Oh, my God.
I love the camaraderie of working men, and I miss the people I've had it with in my life. I felt very much at home with these guys.
Nobody ever said to timber.
Oh, you run out of breath.
That's right. And people with dog teams don't say mush.
Apparently not.
You know, they don't. I've done it. Oh, no, come on, say it. They're saying all sorts of stuff. Come on, whatever happened to mush? As this has gone on, various people say, well, that's another one off your list. Okay.
Enough of that crap.
Not one of them was wearing a tartan shirt. How disappointing.
Hold on.
No timber. I was inconsolable.
No timber.
Oh, another wasted day among cretins. What a feeling when that tree starts to go and it makes that little creaky, squeaky noise. And I've always thought it to be vandalism. But when an opportunity comes like this, when it's a sick tree that has to go, oh Lord, what a feeling. You got to do it once before you die. The harder the job gets, the more passionate seem to get about it. It's hard, but they love it, and it comes screaming across.
One last stop, one last breed of Canadian tough guy. I'm off to the gang ranch. I'm going to hang out with some cowpokes. Dudes like Dustin here.
Have you got a wife and kids?
Yeah.
You never think a cowboy's been married. They always seem to be loners. You must spend your whole life outside.
I've been a cowboy most of my life. I've worn all the clothes and sang the songs, but I've only ever ridden in the movies, and I'm not a confident rider.
You want to catch your horse, or would you like me to?
You do it.
Okay.
I feel I'm in expert hands with Dustin, who has an uncanny way with horses.
There's something lovely about that, isn't there? That slow, gentle movement. That was so impressive. Poor old Trigger doesn't know what a novice is going to clamber on top of him.
Oh God, now I'm worried.
Oh wow.
But within minutes, Trigger and I were just dandy together.
So you've been a cowboy since day one, haven't you? Since you're a little boy?
But it's nice working with animals. They don't talk back to you or nothing.
Absolutely. Do pretty much as they're told, don't they, most of the time?
Yeah.
The gang ranch is a mind-boggling 1 million acres, and today we're moving some of the cattle to their winter pasture.
Get out of there!
My confidence on horseback is really growing.
At one point I actually nipped off to the right and caught a stray and brought him back in. I was so pleased with myself. A complete novice. I love all that roping and stuff. It's such a joy to watch.
I love people who are good at what they do. I don't care what it is, even if it's putting string up one nostril and pulling it down the other. These guys are seriously accomplished.
It's extraordinary skill. That was brilliant. That was me and Ross and the boys talking cowboy stuff about sweethearts and puppy dogs and rolling cigarettes. You know the kind of stuff we talk about. It's been really colossal. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I know you regard it as everyday work.
Race to the beer truck.
And as we ride off for a cloudy lemonade on the stoop, this is sadly my last encounter on the trip.
It's been such a pleasure.
560 miles south is Vancouver Island and my final destination, Friendly Cove on the Pacific Ocean.
It's been a long time coming, 10,000 miles, 10 weeks.
But this is the final leg of the journey. Quite sad, really. Friendly Cove was discovered by Captain Cook when he was looking for the Northwest Passage. He never found it, but it seems a fitting place to end my journey.
The Pacific Ocean. The end. We started away over in Nova Scotia, the Atlantic Ocean. And here we are, right across the other side of the continent.
What an epic journey.
Don't say I never take you anywhere.
There's a size to everything in Canada that just takes your breath away. It's big and beautiful, mile after mile after mile of it.
How unbelievable is this?
I've been tearing along on bikes and helicopters, cars and trucks, big boats, big planes, little planes, and having a gas. I've seen a country in change. The cod has gone, the gold has gone, and the climate is topsy-turvy.
Holy moly.
The ice in the legendary Northwest Passage melted, allowing me to take a route from ocean to ocean that many explorers before me had failed to find.
It must have been terrifying, and it just did them in eventually.
It was a chance for me to see some extraordinary places in the Arctic summer.
There's something quite Disneyland about the whole thing, isn't there?
Scenery is one thing, but it's the people I've met that will stay with me forever.
You get some lovely folk here. I never met helpfulness or a welcome like it anywhere in my life.
I've met impressively optimistic characters who are shaped by the unforgiving landscape and climate. People who know who and what they are and wouldn't live anywhere else. Can I move in with you?
Anytime. Long as you cook.
I've been touched by how contented they are with their lives at the edge of the world. They aren't chasing short-lived pleasures of material things. They've found a longer-lasting contentment.
I've never met an elder before.
I didn't come looking for it, but I think that's the real gold here. And this gold isn't going away anytime soon.
What a lovely time. What an amazing journey. But they should shout timber when a tree falls down. I'll give them lessons if they're stuck. Timber!